Sometimes the blessing is getting exactly what you asked for so you can learn to ask for something more. Well, here's the thing. I quit my job. I officially left my role as head of TV at Project X Entertainment.
So my I See You Girl is for Tunde because she was just announced as a new cast member for Sistas on BET, the television show.
Oh.
She's an actress now. She has
Mm.
lived several dreams of hers, being a makeup artist, being a Peloton instructor, being an athlete. Like I think she's a Nike athlete, isn't she? And
Oh.
now she's
Wow.
a actress, and she wrote and she published a memoir. Okay, I wanted to read one of her quotes because I just think it's what I love about her and what I think is exciting about this is she has just been proof that it's never too late and nothing is out of reach. Watching these Made It segments on CNBC where
I
it's
love those Made It
exactly
segments.
the stories of my fantasy box, similar entrepreneurial stories at all levels where they talk about, but what I love about Made It on CNBC, if you have not, I feel like the production team is Black because there's a lot of stories of Black people having left the country and living elsewhere on significantly less per year. And I was like, why are there all these stories about expats? Like, I'm much happier now that I moved to a different country. That was I realized over the holiday that we do not get an opportunity to develop a healthy relationship with anger. We don't even get
Mm.
to spend time with it, get to know it, understand what it's for. Because I certainly entertained anger as a guest over the holidays. Anger showed up with the suitcase.
And we're back.
And we're back in the new year.
2026.
Hey,
Already acting a fool,
on the other side,
but it's okay.
Okay.
We
Well,
told
we're
you to come in
here.
here and don't touch nothing. I saw someone post that. Like, all right, come in. All right, 2026, come in here. I think my friend Dion did. It was like, come in here, sit down, don't touch nothing. And
It's already touching
here we are.
things, breaking stuff.
Already touching
but
things.
That's okay. We gonna just do what we do.
That's right.
Welcome back to our listeners. We had a little hiatus. We were on hiatus for 2 weeks. No episode for 2 weeks, and we are live and direct. So make sure that you follow us on all the platforms because sometimes we normally post on Mondays. We normally post every week, but sometimes we got to make changes. So for you to know the
Yes.
changes, you got to follow us so that you never miss an episode because we're about to do it big in 2026.
You know what I just realized though? I don't think we do a good job of putting the notifications like, hey y'all, we're out for 2 weeks.
We're
You just
out of
have to hear the
office for
episodes.
real.
We're out of office for real. So we'll do a better job of that in the new year. It's a 2-person team here, y'all. Well, actually it's 3. It's me, Jayne, and God. So yeah,
right.
there's only so much that we can do, but we're gonna be on try to be more on top of it in this next year. So welcome to 2026. Happy New Year.
Happy
To
New Year.
whoever's listening.
Yeah. So in 2026, you know how there's sayings where sometimes you wonder, is the person joking? Is this irony or is this someone being straightforward? Happy New Year right now. I'm like, do you mean that or are you saying something else?
Man, it's hard because like I said, it's fine. We'll figure it out.
It is what it is. Well, let's turn the autoresponder on and get into our episode. We are officially out of office and the autoresponder is on. Would you like to start with yours?
New year, same me, come correct or dumb come at all. That's my out of office reply.
Well, my out of office reply is I am currently out of office with the television off and YouTube on, learning how to create the version of reality I see in my dreams. Because this version right here,
I don't know what this timeline
connecting.
is. I don't like
It's
it.
not connecting. I'm like, how did I get on this timeline? Don't you wonder
like it.
sometimes how did you get on this timeline? Like how did we wind up here?
I must have quantum leaped past the timeline that I wanted to be on because I don't understand. But I'm in a good mood. So
Okay, well, let's go
let's
to
get
the I
into it.
see you, girl, good mood
Yeah.
segment of happiness and joy. Well, mine is relatively short because I just saw this announcement and I don't have a lot of information about it because it's brand new. But
Oh,
Tunde Oyeneyin, is that right?
that sounds right.
Oyeneyin, Oyeneyin,
Oyeneyin. I think that's how you probably pronounce
Oyeneyin,
it.
Oyeneyin,
Tunde
Oyeneyin.
Oyeneyin.
Okay, Tunde Oyeneyin, right? Okay, Tunde. I got the first part right because she's one of my favorite Peloton instructors, even though I had to quit Peloton because they bricked my
Oh,
first generation bike. And so I couldn't any longer get the programming. But that's
oh
neither here nor there. But
no.
until that happened, I was always riding with Tunde. So I love Tunde. I just love her story. She's so inspiring and so accessible. She's so transparent. She was just one of the girls. Like she could be one of us. Her parents'
Mm-hmm.
expectations for her were to go to med school. She became a makeup artist. And
Of
then
course.
as a makeup artist, she was like, you know what? I'm about this health and fitness life. And so she went to a spin class and had a vision of herself teaching on a gigantic platform. And then she wound up continuing with her lessons. She completely failed, quote unquote, failed her first audition for Peloton, but continued to build her experience connecting with audiences, and the rest is history. She had another audition and she was ready to go. So my I See You girl is for Tunde because she was just announced as a new cast member for Sistas on BET, the television show.
Oh.
She's an actress now. She's an athlete. She's living her dreams as a Peloton instructor. I was like, this is so inspiring. I'm all about
Oh,
this. I
that's
think it's
so dope for
amazing.
her.
Yeah, I'm like,
I
this is
love
crazy.
it.
So I wanted to read one of her quotes because I just think it's what I love about her and what I think is exciting about this is she has just been proof that it's never too late and nothing is out of reach. She has
Mm.
lived several dreams of hers, being a makeup artist, being a Peloton instructor, being an athlete. Like I think she's a Nike athlete, isn't she? And
Oh,
now she's
wow.
a actress and she wrote and she published a memoir. Okay, so I'm like,
Well,
she's
damn,
an
Tunde.
example of
Well,
living all these dreams, but she has a really interesting philosophy. So I just wanted to share a quote. This is from an interview in Coverture. Okay, I'll put the link for the interview so you can read all of her words, but I just wanted to share some of her words. She
yeah.
says, I would say when you're not ready, do it anyway. This is Tunde's
Mm.
words. With women specifically, we don't nominate ourselves because we don't feel like we're ready or experienced enough. But I say, put your hand up, nominate yourself, and do it anyways. Go after it anyways. Audition for it anyways. Interview for it anyways. Don't wait until this is now my words. But don't wait until the perfect time. We're never ready for anything. And it's like even if you especially present yourself to something early, even if it doesn't work out with the outcome that you wanted, you're going to learn something that's going to get you ready for the outcome. So you've got to test yourself against reality. I know so
So
many of us,
true.
we're living in this age of anxiety and we're not testing ourselves and are testing our assumptions about ourselves against reality. So we're not getting feedback and we just stay living in our minds and stay living small and stay living scared and never get the lessons and the feedback that we need to actually get the outcomes that we want. Instead, we're like, oh, I'm just going to wait till it's perfect. And then my first try has to be the win. No, your first try gets you closer to the next place that you need to launch from. Not
So
It doesn't
true.
always have to be the win. You gotta take L's in life too. So I love that Tunde said that she got to her wins by taking losses. She just was like, I wasn't ready, but I did it anyway. And because she got 2 shots at the Peloton interview. I remember one of my dream job that I wanted. I did not get that job on the first interview. I got it on the second. And when I
Mm.
got it on the same job, I interviewed for it twice, 1 year apart. And by the
Oh,
time I went for that
wow.
second interview, I was so uniquely qualified for that position that I wound up earning, I think, 50% more at least than what I would have gotten as salary. My comps package was like 2x what it would have been if I had gotten that job with the first interview. So I think for everybody that's thinking, is this the time? Yes, it's the time. Even if it's not the time, it's the time. Make a move. And
It's
the second
always the
part of
time.
it is yes. And the other part of her quote, when she speaks about uncertainty, Tunde says, the beauty of uncertainty is infinite possibility. When you don't know what's next, anything can be next. I live my life by that. When doubt enters, I try not to hear it. Although doubt is uncomfortable, I try to lean in and listen to what it's trying to say. From there, the growth happens. So that's my I See You girl this week.
Mm.
She's so, I mean, this is a woman that inspires so many people on her in her classes on Peloton on a regular basis. She's has words for a memoir. Her memoir is called Speak. If you've seen it on the shelves, it's a beautiful yellow background with her mahogany skin and this popping red lipstick. The color
Oh,
direction
that's
on
right.
that cover is worth a purchase alone. But her words are the value and valuable. And I just think she's a tremendous spirit. So I see you, girl. Tunde Oyeneyin.
Yes. There we go. I'm not familiar with Tunde, but I'm about to get familiar. She has incredible insight on life, and
Yes.
I would like to know more about that insight. I think I might have to pick up that memoir.
It's
Speak.
worth it. It's worth it. I've not believe I have it, but I haven't started reading it. But when I started researching her for this segment, when I saw the announcement, I was like, actress? Girl, Peloton instructor, actress, makeup artist. When I read her interviews and started seeing more of her words, I was like, oh yeah, this is one of those wisdom offerings that we need to all be reading.
Please.
Check out.
We need to be centering ourselves with words of wisdom and not words of
Hmm.
chaos. So,
Absolutely not. Stay
well,
centered.
stay centered, my lovelies. Well, my I see you, girl. So for me this week, I really love when people win, especially when the success comes out of loss or tragedy. I think it makes the victory even more meaningful slash sweeter. So anyway, so a few years back, a woman named Kayla Rowe was expecting, and she unfortunately miscarried. And in searching for answers why, she began questioning everything she ate and used on her body, especially looking at feminine hygiene products that she had been
Mm.
using for long periods of time. So after having her rainbow baby, she launched a plant-powered feminine hygiene brand called Her Fantasy Box in 2022.
I'm familiar with that. I've heard about that.
I I was 2 days ago years old when
Okay.
I learned about Her Fantasy
I
Box.
was 2 days I was 2 days younger when I heard
Two,
about
two,
that.
2 days old. So fast forward to last year, the brand is $100 million brand. It's
Wow.
$100 million business. It's a top seller on Amazon.
That's
It's
awesome.
Isn't that awesome? The product line includes pH balancing washes, probiotics, body deodorant, feminine wipes, and much more. She works with a US based team of doctors,
Mhm.
chemists, pharmacists. Some of the people on the team are actually featured on the landing page of her website, so you want to check it out because they all baddies. So
Baddies.
she herself is a baddie, obviously, but she has a Bachelor of Science in Public Health from the University of South Florida with a minor in infection control. And her mom was actually a nursing assistant, so you can say this was her calling. So shout out to you, Kayla, from personal pain to $100 million company. I love that she honored her experience and built something that not only served herself, but not now serves millions of women out there. So
Mhm.
check out
That's
her fantasy box.
I think this is so important to hear these stories and to see that it really there's always a theme evolves that it's just about getting started. And
Hmm.
the the distance between getting started and these tremendous levels of success is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I think there are so many people sitting on the sidelines with an idea, waiting for the perfect opportunity or waiting for the perfect moment, or completely discounting the assets that they have, thinking, "Oh, I don't have enough money," when yes you do. Or, "Oh, I don't have access to distribution." Yes, you do. "Oh, where am I going to get
Mhm.
customers?" Where there's a whole bunch of people clamoring for the idea that you have and just waiting for it to materialize. So I
Mhm.
love hearing these stories about people who just went for it and started small, but got big very quickly. So hopefully that's inspiring for people listening and who are sitting on an
Yeah.
idea that they know they need to move on. This is your sign.
To go
Okay.
do it. You
Go
all have
do it.
the ideas are just there. They're just waiting for you to pick them up and run with it. So, shout out to
Yes.
Kayla.
Kayla, we see you, girl. Well, now, like, what is our next segment? Is what I'm on
You
right
know,
now.
it's your favorite one. What I'm on right
On right
now.
now.
So what do you
Dun-dun-dun.
want right now?
So I am on CNBC. So, like I said, I was on YouTube and I have been watching these these segments. I have actually there's two things I want to talk about, but I've been watching these Made It segments on CNBC where
I
it's
love those Made It
exactly these
segments.
the stories of my fantasy box, similar entrepreneurial stories at all levels where they talk about. But what I
Mhm.
love about Made It on CNBC, if you have not, I feel like the production team is black because there's a lot of stories of black people having left the country and living elsewhere on significantly less per year. And I was like, why are there all these stories about expats? Like, I'm much happier now that I moved to a different country.
Mhm.
I was like, hmm. But anyway, but the stories are so powerful, and especially the ones of entrepreneurship. And I love seeing the origin story of how this idea came about, what their circumstances were. So oftentimes people will tell you very candidly, I did not have a lot of money, or we got a loan in this amount, or we had to ask friends and family, or I sold my car, or I sold my house. But people tell in specificity. There was a nurse who quit her nursing job to run her laundromat, but she bought the laundromat by selling her house, and she used a certain amount of her savings, but it wasn't like a tremendous amount, while she was still working as a nurse. And she gradually dialed her hours back until she was making more with the laundromat than she did as a nurse. So hearing those kinds of stories and seeing how these ideas were financed, like and they give you the breakdown of the profit and loss, basically. So they'll tell you
Mhm.
exactly how much revenue they're making, what their overhead is, what their expenses are. So you're getting a whole financial picture with specific numbers for every profile that they do. So if you've never
Yes.
seen CNBC, Made It on CNBC on YouTube, these are like a few minute long. Sometimes it'll be 8 minutes, sometimes it's 20 minutes, but they're just so very worth watching because I just think that this is the money making 26. 2026 is a money making, move making year. And people are needing ideas and encouragement. And so these are one of the places, CNBC Made It is one of the places to get that encouragement. The other thing that I'm on right now, I've been on my fitness journey, and my fitness journey has led me to treat my recovery as seriously as I treat my workouts. So I am
Mm.
on that intensive recovery. I just did a assisted stretch session. So I've just been investing
Ooh.
in recovery at the same level that I have been into my fitness and my workouts. So that's the other thing I'm on right now. I'm on recovery. And
So when you
take
say
that for what
assist to
you will.
stretch, are you
Yes.
going to a place where they're
Mhm.
stretching you for like an hour?
Half an hour. Mhm.
Half an hour. And
Mhm.
what are the price range? Like, what's the price range for
So
something like
I
that?
think
Like, where do you go?
it depends
PT?
on
Like,
what.
where?
Yeah, so maybe a trainer, or you can go to there's a stretch, like stretch places that That's all they do is stretch you. And it's
Mm.
different in different costs in different places. I think in Michigan, somewhere between $50 to $100 is per session. So I would think of it as a functional massage. So where you're not doing it just for relaxation, but you're doing it for a therapeutic purpose. So that is, that's how I would think about it. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be stretched for an hour. Half an hour is great, and you can do maintenance in between. But this is definitely what I'm on right now, is making that investment to recover in as much as I am making the investment to push the boundaries and push myself. I realize, oh, I need to recover like an athlete if I'm going to
Mhm.
be an athlete.
What workouts are you still doing the same workout regimen or have you switched it up?
I'm doing the same workout regimen for the most part. I've started working out at the gym now. So I'm going to start adding more classes and a little bit more diversity in my workout. But I sometimes will do 2 workouts a day where the
Mhm.
second but the baseline to my workout song is always the same. It's that consistent morning workout because I don't want to ever miss that. And I know that I've checked my boxes for the day if I do that workout. Then everything else is just bonus. So that's how I've been keeping it consistent. So I've
Oh, that's
lost
cool.
somewhere in the vicinity of 30, 40 pounds, something like that.
I can tell. You look great.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm
You
excited.
look
I'm I
great.
have I have a ways to go to my goal, but I have to mark the moment. I'm like, yeah, I've been doing it. I'm a Tony.
Absolutely. I actually have to offline my conversation with you. I'm not going to share this with the listeners just yet, but I'm going to talk to you about something that I'm working on, workout
Okay.
wise. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
need your opinion on.
Okay.
Maybe you
Offline.
can ask your dad for me because I know that your dad was
He be
helping
knowing.
you
Yes,
with
he's
your
been my
workout
coach.
regimen.
He's been my
I love
coach
it.
and my workout buddy.
Oh my gosh. So does he go to the gym with you too?
Yeah, so we work out in the gym here. I've been my stay-at-home daughter life.
I love
So
it.
we've been doing that in the mornings, and it's been very helpful. I don't know how I would have gotten on track without that consistency and then also having someone to work out with. I think it's been helpful for both of us. So, for sure. I mean, he's very knowledgeable, but also just very disciplined. The paragon of discipline, just absolutely one of the most disciplined people I know. So, it helps to have someone who is going to show up even when you might be faltering, like days that you feel like, oh, I really would like to sleep in. It's like, well, I kind of already know that he's probably waiting for me to show up for my
Right. So
workout.
you
So
feel pressure to wake up and go do it with him
yeah,
too.
to get it
That's
done. I can't
great.
be out.
I
I
love
can't be
that.
outdone.
No, no, you can't. But I love
But
that there's an opportunity for you and your dad to bond over,
yeah,
working out. So that's great. I
yeah,
love
it
that.
is. You very rarely, I think, in midlife, get a chance to slow down enough to just experience your family members, your parents, whomever it
That's right.
is, as who they are in that window, at their best. This is what they've learned out of their life experience, and this is their gifts that they have to offer, and to be able to actually sit with them in their gifts, just
Yeah.
slow down enough to take that time is has been a gift to me. And so I'm very, very fortunate. I'm very thankful.
That's beautiful. I love it.
Very fur. That's Burfer.
Beautiful.
Burfer.
Well, what I'm on right now is very much in line. Maybe this might be part of the intensive recovery phases that you're stepping into. Qigong, and I practice that
Qigong.
pronunciation, so don't worry. It's not Qigong, it's not Qigong, it's Qigong. I was gently
Qigong.
corrected over the break. Qigong. So, if you're unfamiliar with Qigong, it's Qigong. So,
Okay. Qigong.
Qigong.
Well, how are you
Yes.
mispronouncing it?
I was not
Were
gonna.
you
I'm
were
not
you
gonna share
saying
that.
Qi? Qi?
I was saying
Qigong?
Qigong.
Girl, you know a lot of people walking around like they're not gonna be able to find what you're talking about. It is not spelled CHI, y'all. It is QI. Okay, Qigong. Tell the people.
Qigong.
Tell the people
It
like it
is
is.
it is an ancient Chinese practice, and it's been around for thousands of years. So originally it was developed to support health, longevity, spiritual balance, emotional balance, cultivating your chi, which they think is the life force energy that's within you. So through slow, intentional movement, some breath work, and really honed in awareness, it's basically acupuncture without the needles. Because
Oh,
what you're doing
interesting.
is you're doing these movements because it's not about pushing yourself to the limit. It's really about focusing on how do I take this life force energy within me and how do I help its circulation? How do I regulate it? How am I aware of my surroundings? Honestly, it's helped me with my anxiety. I'm dealing with grief of losing my mom. So instead of letting it just sit there, what Qigong has done for me, it feels like it's moving the grief throughout my
Uh-huh.
entire life force,
Uh-huh.
mind, body, and spirit. So it's processing it so I can move forward with it,
Right.
right? Because grief
Right.
is not something you get over, it's just something you move forward with. So that's why I
Right.
feel like physically Qigong is doing that for me. So I'm still new to this, but there's this YouTube channel that I found. I'll put it in the show links. Other exercises in this practice help with energy blockages, back pain. So instead of stimulating the energy pathways, what Qigong does, it uses breath, movement, and intention to activate those same pathways yourself. So if you see me
Uh-huh.
moving really slow, like a sloth in a park somewhere, mind your business. I'm doing Qigong.
Man,
But
mind your business.
mind your business. But if your nervous system needs a hug,
Oh,
100% suggest Qigong because
I
it's
love that.
pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. And the exercises aren't long either. They're like 5 to 10 minutes.
I'm looking forward to the show link for that. Qigong.
Yeah.
Not
Qigong.
spelled not spelled CHI, y'all.
No. And it's not Kai Gong or Ki Gong. It's Qigong. So.
Qigong. That's right. We learn something new every day. I mean, pronunciations, because we're in this more globalizing world and we are having exposure to more and more cultures, which is great. It makes us more intelligent, it makes us more
Mm-hmm.
worldly, it makes us more empathetic. There's a lot we need to have grace in how we how we move through unfamiliar languages, pronunciations, all of those things. So making the effort is the most important thing, and then you learn. So that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you
That's what
gotta
we're
call
doing.
it key and you trying it, call it key and do it. You know what
But
I'm
don't tell
saying?
anybody else.
But well, look, if you do, whatever. Just be like, you know what? I'm doing me. I'm learning as I go.
That's
Don't sweat
true.
me, boo.
But also a quick Google search could help you out with that.
I
So,
did
but
Google
anyways,
search
we're
how
not
to
judging.
pronounce Tunde's last name, and I still I
Well,
I
Google
Google
ain't
search
gonna know how to
I
pronounce that
practiced it for
woman's
10
name.
minutes. Girl, I practiced it for 10 minutes. I was like, Oyeneyin, Oyeneyin, and then still
I
couldn't get so.
can't.
But anyway, I tried. Like all you could do
You
is try,
tried.
and it's like,
You
yeah, it's like
did.
whatever. You
You
just keep
did. You
practicing.
did.
10 minutes wasn't
You
enough.
did.
I swear.
I have so much PTSD because people butcher my name so much. So I'm just like, can we just try? Can we? So when the fact that people butcher my name, I'm always so like aware of other people's last names. So I'm always asking, how do I pronounce this? Okay, great. So
Yeah,
I
I
can,
try.
put my best foot forward. But no, you did. You do. You do be trying.
I be trying. I be
This is
trying.
not
That's
an
all I can
indictment on
say.
your part. This is other people who just be blatantly just mispronouncing stuff and they don't even want to know.
I
That's
know.
what I'm talking about. So,
Yeah, but I'm like,
anyways,
anyways. So minding my black business, which is basically what we be
Yes.
doing. Minding
Yes.
my black business. Well, I will start with Curl Mix. I was in the gym and I happened to see Curl Mix. It was a rerun of Curl Mix on Shark Tank, and they are a black
Mm.
owned natural hair care company and brand. So they started with this signature flaxseed gel, which
Mm.
became, I guess, a runaway kind of hit. And then they went on and they developed these kits based on your hair texture with 4 steps to wash, condition, and style your hair. And
Ooh.
so they took their product line and their success to Shark Tank, and I believe they got a $400,000-esque offer, which they did not take. But then they went on to
Oh.
raise $1.2 million, and the company continued to grow. And then fast forward, they wound up in Ulta, and I bought the products from Ulta. And I think Curl Mix was the one and only natural hair video I did on YouTube on my Jane Allen channel. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do hair videos. And I was all about that. And then I was like, I'm going to do one hair video. Not going to do any more, but maybe I'll do some more later. But the one hair video I managed to accomplish was Curl Mix. And I was trying Curl Mix. And I wanted to support the brand. I'm so, very supportive of the story and the founder. But so now fast forward to today, and the CEO,
Mhm.
Kim Lewis, made an announcement that the company's in financial trouble and really running the
Are you
risk of shutting its
serious?
doors. I have told y'all about the treacheries of retail. Being if you see a black owned brand at retail, you should pick that brand up and support them. Any store you're in, if you're
Oh
in
my
Ulta, if you're in
gosh.
Sephora, if you're in other stores and you see a black owned brand on the shelf, the costs to be at retail are enormous. The economic exposure, the financial risk, it's so huge because if you think about it, they have inventory and stock in so many locations. If that stock doesn't sell through, then they're on the hook for it. It's not like they're just gonna it just it goes into the wind and everything's okay. It's a tremendous financial exposure
Wow.
with producing that amount of inventory and having that out on shelves that needs to sell through. So it's really a rough business. It's takes so much courage. It takes a lot of capital, and it's something that we celebrate and want to see more of. But when we see a brand that takes that big bite of the apple and is struggling, it's a really important time to support them. So I wanted to highlight them because they are trying to rally the troops to save their company. And the offer right now is $10. I'm sorry, 10 of their signature products as $100 bundle. And it's the Protect Curl Mix bundle. So they're making an effort to save their company. They're offering 10 of their best sellers, I guess, or 10 of their signature products as $100 bundle. So like each of them would retail at like between 25
Wow.
and 15 and $25, and they're selling it for $10 each. So they're giving the 4 ounce heavy hold moisturizer, their shampoo, their signature flaxseed gel. I'm looking at the bundle right now on the webpage curlmix.com. Mint
Oh yeah,
condition
me too.
scalp
Wow.
treatment, the daydream scalp treatment. All of this is in the bundle. Honey hydration deep conditioner, strawberry hibiscus liquid shampoo, mint condition, and a brown sugar baby deep conditioner. All this stuff looks great. So it's $100 bundle. If you want to try something that is natural hair focused, support a black owned business, if you're like, you know what, I'm just feeling extra generous, or I have $100, I want to try a new product line, and you want to try the complete product line, then it's a great time to support Curl Mix. So I just wanted to highlight that for minding my black business and at the start of the year.
Wow.
And it's not easy, it's not always obvious, but I am a huge supporter of entrepreneurship. I think it's the way to go forward, even if it doesn't work out, even if you have your hiccups and missteps. It takes so much courage, and it's a definite I see you girl. But even more than that, if there's people who are ready to support, they need the support. So curlmix.com, they have $100 Protect Curl Mix bundle right now. and I've used the products before. I like them. I like them a lot, and it's worth trying if you like new products and you like to try new things. This seems like a win-win.
There's a concerning trend I'm seeing with a lot of Black owned businesses in retail spaces, and they're
Mhm.
suffering. We have
Mhm.
Omni Collet that shut down, Curl Mix
Mhm.
is in danger of shutting down, Color of Beauty, which is the nail polish brand, had their struggle. And I just also saw that Pat McGrath Labs, something's going on with them financially too.
Mhm.
And of course, the Uncle Nearest situation, some of it has to do with private equity. Oh, we also talked about
Mhm.
Slightly Vegan, but yeah, some of it
Mhm.
has to do with private equity and how it could be fun and flashy and getting that big.
Mhm.
But the downside of it is if you're not scaling at the way that they want you to scale, then the brand suffers and it has to shut down. With the Curl Mix, I'm so confused because I'm looking at the website and I it didn't occur to me that I've seen the products on shelves before. And I'm seeing all these reviews. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah. Ho
Wow.
it's painful to witness, and I do think, people wonder what is the real implication of sometimes being specifically a Black entrepreneur, whether it's in the beauty space, whether it's in publishing, or whether it's in whatever. And the reality is that access to capital, one way or another, is so subjective and is still very much governed by people's perceptions, people holding the capital, people making the capital decisions. It's governed by their perceptions of your likelihood of success. And of course, with Black creators, Black entrepreneurs, we are judged differently. And we are, especially if it's someone across the table thinking about our likelihood of success, it's subjective. So they might not see themselves in us. They might not understand our market. They might not understand the potential of the market because they don't sit on a regular basis in the market that we serve. So they may
Mhm.
underestimate the potential, and then they under resource that an entrepreneur or that creator. When you're under resourced, that means that you are spread too thin. You don't have enough resources to do all the marketing you would otherwise get to do. You don't have all the resources to sit on inventory as long as you need to sit on it. You don't have all the resources to have two assistants. When you need three or four assistants, you have two. You may not even have one. And that's a cost to that. You don't get to focus in the way that you need to focus as an entrepreneur. You're constantly trying to scrounge together money to cover this and that, and you can't think creatively or think about what next steps are, and you don't have those luxuries.
Yeah.
So it is harder, and I can tell you in specifics why it is harder, and why as a community we should be aware of those things. Because yes, we need to close the gap, we need to close the funding gap, we need to give people a real chance, a real opportunity, not a fake, not a half opportunity, a real opportunity to be the full, to have the full embodiment of their idea, to be their best selves. If you have an entrepreneur like Kim Lewis who can take something from an idea to packaging to retail shelf, she should be supported tenfold. She shouldn't be having to go knock on 300 doors to try to get
That's right.
financing to keep the doors alive, or be having to offer a bundle, as a Hail Mary to try to keep the doors open. It just shouldn't be that way. If you've got somebody with that much courage, that much chutzpah, that doing it in the face of all of these societal issues that we have, and still that has that
Yeah.
tenacity, you should be behind that person 100%. That's how I feel. But it doesn't work out that way often, too often. So it's frustrating for me, but the best we can do is try to support. And so the our little we are out of office community, if y'all rally up, and if you need to give somebody a gift, it's a great gift, I feel like, to get all those products,
That's a great
or
idea.
something for someone else or for yourself. So Spread the word. If it's not for
Wow.
you, tell a friend.
That's just sad. I'm seeing it a lot, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
"What
it's
is
too
going on,
often.
y'all?"
I know that it's pain and Ami Cole, I know. Like it's just
S To this day, I'm
we
still
deserve
like,
better.
I'm
We
still hurt.
deserve better.
And then she had an archived, uh, uh, but not bundle, but she had like a basket full of like her Amicole brand, and she took a picture of it, and she was like, "Oh, the archive," and then all the girls were like, "Girl, you know, you got my address. Just send it through." Like it was so
Mhm.
funny. Yeah. But yeah, that one still hurts. But anyways, let's focus on something a little bit more uplifting.
Yes.
So you fly often. How many times did you fly last year? And how many times was your pilot black or a person of color when you were flying?
I don't know how many times I flew. I would say maybe 50. I don't know. Maybe not 50. I don't know. Maybe 30. I did see maybe 5 times a person of color, maybe 3 times, 3 or 4 times, because I would know I celebrated. I definitely feel like I had a black woman pilot, and I was like, "Yes, girl! You
Oh,
better
that's
fly
a
that plane."
rarity.
I'm like, "You better
Girl,
fly
you better
this
fly that
bird.
plane.
You better fly this bird, girl."
Actually, I'm surprised to hear you say 5, because only 5% of commercial pilots in the US are black, according to the FAA.
Yeah,
5%.
I I might be I might be overestimating just because it was so impactful when I did see. I'm like, it's like 3 people in one. I'm like I'm like, "You
You
are."
sorry, that's it's a
It
black
counts.
person, you just automatically
I
exaggerating.
know, it's like I know, now that's for 7 flights. It's like it was only 1 flight. In my mind, it was 7. You know how, like, grandparents will do that? They'll be like, "She she
Yes.
she's running
Yes.
6 locations." It's like, she just started there, and she's just working
I'm
hourly
like,
at the
"Nah,
front
grandma,
desk. Like, "No, no, she's the manager of
just
all
1."
the locations."
She's a manager.
That's how
Oh my gosh, gotta
that's
love
how I see
grannies.
it. That's how I see it.
Gotta
She
gotta
the
love
manager of
grannies.
all the planes,
But the reason
all
why I
the
bring
flights.
it up the reason why I bring it up is that there's a black-owned flight school in Gwinnett County, Georgia, just committed or announced that they were committing $1 million to train 1,000 pilots,
Oh, that's
which is so dope.
incredible.
Ye
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
the founder, his name is Michael Ojo. The academy is called Look Up Flight Academy. And he hopes that these scholarships will help those who have always had an interest in becoming a pilot, but couldn't because apparently it's expensive to become one. Did you know how
Yeah.
expensive? I didn't realize it was expensive to get
I
flight lessons
yeah.
or go to the academy, but it's very expensive. So
Mhm.
this will come right on time because Boeing projects that they will need more than 100,000 new pilots in North America over the next 2 decades. And
Wow.
Michael's hoping to help fill the need by encouraging folks to go to his school. So shout out to Michael and look up Flight Academy.
Flight Academy. Yeah, if you I don't know, somebody is trying to change jobs right now. So,
Listen,
this is so aptly themed
this might be your
for the
sign.
beginning of the year. I know this podcast. Look, send this episode to whoever needs to hear it, because we're talking about entrepreneurship. Evidently, we plan our shows. This is for listeners, obviously. We plan our shows, but it always emerges that there's a theme that we didn't plan for, and it's always perfectly timed. So at the beginning of the year, we have this sort of entrepreneurship, take the chance, take the shot, sis theme of this episode.
Yep.
I dig it. I'm digging it. If you're looking for a
Switch it up.
sign, this is your sign. Send it to whoever needs to hear. Maybe you want to fly
Child, wait
planes.
till we get to health and healing, because there's gonna be some more stuff that I'm gonna be sharing from some changes that I'm gonna go through this year. So
Some
keep
changes.
listening. Okay, cool.
Some changes.
Love
Well,
it.
so for Jesus Take the Wheel, already the wheel is a little bit too large for all of the wheel taking that needs to be done. So we're just going to skip this segment for right now. And that comes from
Yeah, we
that comes from our
we don't need
sponsors,
that.
which we don't have yet,
Yeah,
but we will this year.
we don't
A
need to
message
do
from our
Jesus Take
sponsors.
the Wheel this week.
We usually for Jesus Take the Wheel, if you're a new listener, for this segment, we usually talk about something that's tragically funny. Tragically funny. Ain't nothing
Correct.
funny. Ain't nothing funny. So we ain't doing this segment.
Nothing.
We don't do this segment. We ain't got nothing for you. We just keep it moving. So we need some
Health and
theme
healing,
music or
everyone.
something. We gotta go straight to health and
Let's
healing.
go
Usually
into
Jesus
health and
take the
healing.
wheel. Usually Jesus take the wheel slides into health and healing. But at this point, we just have to go straight there. Okay. No detours.
Yes.
Would you like to start?
Well, here's the thing. I quit my job.
I quit that
I quit my
job.
job, y'all. I quit that job. I officially left my role as head of TV at Project X Entertainment, the company behind the Scream movies, Ready or Not, the upcoming extension of the Mummy franchise with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz, which of course I'm very excited about, and The Night Agent on Netflix. Season 3 drops on February 19th, so if you've got time to catch up before the premiere. But I left because I wasn't having fun doing the job anymore. I knew
Boom.
I was back. I knew I was in trouble back in 2023 when Night Agent first dropped. That should have been you can't tell me nothing moment. I'm the executive producer on a global hit show. The thing I worked over a decade for, the thing I prayed for specifically by name. And then my reaction was meh. And then I entered a phase that is best described as ennui. And that scared me because I didn't understand how I could achieve this thing and it not make me feel whole. And I kind of felt nothing. But here's what I realized. With the help of my community, especially you, I I realized I asked for the dream, but I never asked for the things that made that dream sustainable, that would make that dream sustainable. I never asked for joy in the journey. I never asked for clarity. I never asked for a vision for what comes after. I didn't ask for any of that. I was so tunnel focused on becoming executive producer by name that I didn't even leave room to ask for what would allow me to remain one joyfully. That dream was so specific. Yeah, I will fully admit that. That dream was so
That's a word.
specific that it had no oxygen to expand. And sometimes the blessing is getting exactly what you asked for so you can learn to ask for something more completely. So
Wow.
now I'm grateful. Yeah, listen, I was this holiday break was very very quiet, and it was a very introspective time for me too, because I wanted to share this because I think it's important, because I know I don't know who it's for, but it's for somebody. I'm going to repeat that again. I was so focused on becoming an executive producer that I didn't leave room to ask for what would allow me to remain joyfully in that
Mm-hmm.
position. That dream was so focused. I was so specific to that dream. I didn't leave it room for it to expand beyond that. So what I've learned is that I think though sometimes the blessing is getting exactly what you ask for, so you can learn to ask for something more on the other side of it.
Right. Right. Yeah, you
So
said
so
you were
now I'm
so
grateful.
specific. You're
Mhm.
great grateful for the manifestation of your dream, and also the manifestation of dissatisfaction within your dream, so you learn to ask differently. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, because achieving that dream made room for the new one that I have.
But that's I think you need to learn when it's time to go. And that's the thing.
Mhm.
You know, when you've gotten what you asked for and now it's time to go because you have a different ask. That ain't it, sis. You know what I mean? And knowing when that ain't it anymore, when it's time to move on. And I think that has been the lesson is like you 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 know you will get the manifestation of your heart's desire. And that is going to be at by the time it manifests or as you sit there and you live with it, eventually you're going to outgrow that casing because the experience in and of itself causes you to grow. So you've outgrown that shell, you've outgrown that dream, and it's time for a new
Mhm.
dream. Just because you don't get punished just because you got, and this is not for you, this is just for in general. This is me
Mhm.
talking to my
Yeah.
former self in a way. It's like you don't get punished for wanting a new thing. The universe loves that, loves new desires, loves new wishes, and to because it expands creation. So there's nothing more exciting than fulfilling a new wish and a new dream. So why not dream again, even though
Exactly.
you felt like you dreamed big the first time? Yeah, why not dream again? So
And I
I
did.
love what you're
It
saying.
was a huge dream. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was a huge dream. I mean, not many people can become an executive producer of a TV show in general. And then the show makes it to air. And
mm-hmm.
then the show becomes one of Netflix's biggest shows of all
Ever.
time. As
Right.
of before the Stranger Things series finale, this first season of Night Agent was still top 10 of all time on Netflix. That is a feat that not many people can say they can achieve. So that's a great dream. I achieved it. It's cute, but here's the new
That's
dream.
cute.
2026. It's
What's the new
cute. It's
dream?
cute. It's more than cute. It's more than cute. It's actually fucking awesome. But anyways, here's the new dream. 2026 is the year of what a friend of mine, Mitzi Miller, she would call it the portfolio career era. So one that
Mm,
is not so specific to the title, but specific about the feeling that I want, right? It's spirit forward, it's discernment first, it's taking myself out of the box that I built, and most importantly, choosing radical joy on purpose. So when I mean portfolio career, I mean doing those things in everything that I want to do.
mhm.
Okay. So I'm still producing TV. I'm still producing TV because I still love it. And so I have Night Agent coming, season 3 coming out. I have a show that I'm developing on Amazon. I have another one at FX. I have other things that I'm excited about that I'll share later. And also, instead of operating at 200% like we typically do, trying to outwork gravity, I'm dialing it back. Okay. To 100%.
Right,
Okay.
just
Because this
100%.
next, just 100%, because this next chapter is not about achieving something. It's not about proving I can achieve this. That's not what we're
Mhm,
doing anymore.
mhm.
I'm not proving myself or anyone that I can achieve something because I can. It's about building many things because I know I can.
Right, right,
Right? So sometimes the blessing is outgrowing what once fit perfectly, and sometimes choosing joy as a strategy and not the reward. I think that is very important. It's choosing
Choosing
joy
joy
as
as
a
a strategy.
strategy and not the reward.
Joy is the
Very,
strategy,
very
not the
key here.
reward, sis. I love that. Joy is the
Correct.
strategy. That's my final word. I don't know if I stole it from you, but joy is the strategy, sis. Joy is the
Joy is the
strategy.
strategy. It's
That
not the
Look,
reward.
we could
I'm not,
end the podcast right here at that. Mic drop. Joy is the strategy, sis. Not the outcome, not the reward.
not the
That's the
reward.
strategy.
It's not the
Yo,
reward.
that's what this podcast is all about. Like, I feel like we've done this for a year and 47 episodes just to get to that one statement. Joy is the strategy, sis.
Mhm.
It's not the outcome we're looking for. It's not the reward. It's the strategy. Damn, we need
It's
that on
the
a
strategy.
t-shirt. Joy is the strategy,
Yes.
sis. We need that.
So I know there's a lot of chit chatter about rebranding. And so that's how I'm rebranding. I'm not leaving something behind per se. I'm returning to myself.
I love that.
That's how I would describe my 2026. So that's what I'm doing, y'all. I'm out here just doing whatever the heck I want to do.
Well, I love it here, and I love that for you. And I love that for us.
Thank you.
In our podcast. Because joy is the strategy, sis. Oh my gosh. Listen, if you haven't paused the podcast on that, okay, lend me your ears. Well, my health and healing for
Yes.
this
Oh gosh,
episode.
even the sigh. Oh my gosh.
Girl, I had to. It's just so much bigger than this episode. I'm going to touch on this because it's just so much to talk about, and I don't want to. I want to go long, super long, but I just wanted to
Mhm.
say that I realized over the holiday that we do not get an opportunity to develop a healthy relationship with anger. We don't even get to spend time with it, get to know it, understand what it's for, and I wanted to offer what I
Oh.
learned about entertaining anger, because I certainly entertained anger as a guest over the holidays. Sat right next to me for holiday time. Anger showed up with the suitcase. It was like, "How long you staying?" It was like a week. I was like, "Oh, really? Okay." So anger came to visit me over the holidays. Bought a big old bag. I was like, "How long you gonna be?" "Oh, okay, you gonna be here for a week." I didn't know. Because I never allowed anger to visit, because I was like, anger will never leave. So that's why I was like, wow. But anger came to visit and was like, I'm gonna be here for a week. I didn't know. If I had known that anger was only gonna stay for a week, I'd be like, okay, well, what we about to do? Like, we gonna break some dishes? So it was about something happened that made me very, very angry over the holiday. And what I realized about anger, this particular anger for me, which may be the case, is that it was the exact, the amount of anger that I felt was the exact distance between the reality that I wanted to be experiencing and the reality that I was experiencing. And so typically when anger presents in this way, you leave. But what if you cannot leave the situation, or you don't decide to leave the situation? You just stay with the situation. The anger, that's your sign, right? That's your sign to leave, move, do something differently, that you're betraying yourself in some respect. You're being betrayed, you're betraying yourself. And so what I have always been, I think, afraid of with this is that you can't navigate this space in a healthy way. For me, anger and pain and all these things come together, and I'm just like, cut it off. Like, all that has to go. But in this situation where you can't exactly do that, you have to navigate what you're feeling. And so for me, it was a lot of venting and a lot of just allowing myself to engage and experience everything a lot in and of myself. Like, I vented into my voice recorder. I wrote journals. I talked out loud. I talked into the mirror. I I tried to do everything other than vent it at somebody or anyone in particular. And so I allowed myself to process through all of the anger, didn't hold it in, but didn't direct it to anybody. Just for the most part.
Mm.
Just let it process through in ways that felt like it was going somewhere but wasn't going towards any particular person. So my voice recorder on my phone got an earful, but no particular person did. So I was not I was trying not to cause damage along the way. I mean, there's some, there is some
Yeah.
collateral damage, but generally there's a way to express without directing it towards a person. But anyway, at the end of this, the feeling of clarity and the feeling of peace is something that, and also having experienced this anger without really having hurt anybody in the midst of it. Like I was angry,
Mm.
but then got to kind of release all of the emotion of it and feel this sense of clarity and an understanding. What was left was the exact measurement for
Mm.
me of the difference of the distance between the reality of what I had forgotten I wanted and what I was experiencing and was
Right.
accepting. Exactly. So so it
Ah.
was a rapid reestablish anger was like a rapid reestablishment of ego boundaries, of your own. When you're losing yourself because you're losing what you wanted, the anger is a rapid establishment of that. And some people will sit with that anger or that feeling, or they have learned how to squash that feeling for so long and so much that it just becomes something else. It becomes depression. It becomes, lethargy. It
Right.
becomes a feeling of powerlessness, hopelessness, all of those. When anger gets pushed down, when you should move, when you need to reestablish your ego boundary, when you need to reconnect with what it is that you wanted, and instead you're accepting the reality that that's either being imposed on you or that you're being presented with at the expense of what you actually want. That what should be anger, what should be that spark that causes you to make a change and do something differently, becomes, when it gets squashed down, becomes depression. It becomes that lethargy, that hopelessness. But anyway, I didn't get that far. I actually got to express it, and I started to understand with clarity what I had abandoned of myself, what it was that I wanted and what I
Right.
knew I wanted and what I was abandoning, and that was why I was angry. It had everything to do with me, not anybody else. And so it was about me
Mm.
abandoning myself and my wants. So I was able to reestablish and reassert what it was that I wanted as a hard stop in that space. And that was the kind of whole process of that experience over the holidays. It wasn't about not tying it to any particular person. It's not a family issue. It's not no drama like that. But it was this experience, and I feel like it made me realize that we do not get a chance to develop a healthy, especially as Black women. We never want to be the angry Black woman. We don't want to have, this
That's
moment
right.
where we're seen as angry, or for fear of even being labeled as such, because we get, punished so severely for showing any kind of colorful emotion. This was, for Black women in particular, this is something that I think we need to learn, because there's so much depression, there's so much lethargy, there's so much hopelessness. And especially in the top of the year, when you feel like you should be a different person, or you're reminded in a way of who you were supposed to be, or who you said you were, or who you said you were going to be. And then you wind up looking at your life and you're like, but where is that person? They're still there. They're still right there. But it's like, what do you do? And how do you, how do you do this? How do you handle this once you're aware of this in a non-destructive way? So it has to do with setting boundaries, reestablishing boundaries for yourself, reestablishing yourself. And if you're going to stay, if you can't move and you can't leave a situation, then boundaries does the work for you. So that's another, I'll talk about that more in another segment, another episode. This is I told you, it was heavy, is multi-part, but the first part is about that healthy relationship and understanding what the purpose, what anger
Relationship with
actually
anger.
is. Yeah, and what it is.
I think you're 100%. You hit the nail on the head with that line. We don't have a healthy relationship with anger because we're so worried about what it may look like not only definitely not to ourselves, but to others, right? Because you don't want that perception to be put upon you that you're the angry person. You're always angry, you're always
Right.
angry. But you need to have that relationship with anger, to your point, to that yields to boundaries, that yields to standards, that actually tells you more about yourself than the thing that you are angry about and angry at. Because we've talked about, we know these therapy words, you're projecting, you're doing all this stuff. But you're right. I haven't heard anyone actually say we need to develop even people will always say it's okay to be uncomfortable, right?
Mhm.
You need to sit in that discomfort.
Mhm.
True. But we don't even want to even use the word angry
Right.
because we have
Right.
a horrible relationship with the word.
Yeah,
So
it's
you
it's
want to
it's
be
got such a bad
angry.
connotation. Right. You are angry. The word is angry. And I have said
The word is
I
angry.
said, yeah, I said I'm so angry right now. I developed a new language around that. I was like, I do not want to cause any hurt. So if you are talking to me right now, understand that you are talking to me angry. And so you're going to get
Right.
angry conversation. And that may not be that might not it might not be the right time to talk to me. I could talk to my phone recorder. You know what I mean? Like, we don't
Right.
need
And
to
at least you can
necessarily
be
catch up
aware of
today.
that. Yeah.
I can
Because
say I'm
you don't want
so
to use it as a
angry right
crutch
now.
either.
Right, right. But it's
You
like you
can
can say
say
I'm
that,
so
but you don't
angry.
want to
I'm
use it
so
as a crutch
angry.
and stay
Yeah.
there.
No.
You don't want to
And
stay there, but
no, you don't want
but
to
you
stay
can
there.
visit.
You
Yeah.
can visit and you can work
Yeah.
through it. You can visit and stay in it, and you don't and if you know that you're angry and you allow yourself to be angry, you allow that space, you can tell somebody, "Look, I'm really angry right now, and this is not the time to talk.
Hmm.
I cannot
It's
have a
okay to say
constructive
that.
conversation with anybody right now because you're going to get
Yeah.
the brunt of how I'm feeling. No, we cannot catch up. No, it's not a good time to talk. I'll call you in a week. And I didn't realize that I could do that too. It's like I can say, you know what, it's not a good time. There's some things I'm processing. I can't do it without projecting. At least some degree. Like I want to be in a different place when I interact with people generally. So give me a
That's
week.
real.
I'll call you back. And
That's
I've
real.
this was a new experience for me that realizing, yeah, I can do that. I can say, I'm fine. Everything's fine. It will be fine. And I will call you in a week. Like I don't need to vent to you. I don't need to make you the
That's
recipient
so
of my
real.
action.
Yeah.
I don't need you to witness it. I don't need you to legitimize it. I need to have my interactions be positive and mutually uplifting. And so there's some things that just are for you and you alone. And sometimes anger is that. Like it's for you. It's for you to remind you that you have lost you somewhere.
As I was going to say, there's some instances where you can vent, but you need to. It's kind of like a multi-step process, right? You're angry, so stay in that anger for you and yourself, so that you can determine what that anger is about.
Right.
Then, once you've processed that, you can then bring others in. Are you angry at that individual or are you angry about the situation? And maybe that person can help you process the next stage of anger or whatever, how you want to process, whatever that stage is. At the end of the day, you're having time with yourself to allow
Mhm.
yourself to process something that typically we don't give ourselves the chance to because we're so worried about what that looks like externally. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I like how you said that. Having a healthy relationship with anger. I like that a lot. Okay. All right. So I'm going to reevaluate my relationship with anger. Thank you for that. Heading into what's good as we end the episode, the
What's
first one
good?
back in the new year in 2026. There's a lot of things that we should leave in 2025, but I still subscribe to the old adage, if he wanted to, he would. So look, I know we should decenter men. I hear you, blah, blah, blah. But this was a really sweet gesture. this content creator, he goes by Oh My God Adrian on IG. Adrian Purr is his name. He made a Birkin bag for his lady for Christmas last year. He spent the last year working on leather craft. He bought a pre-cut leather kit that included thread, hardware, etc. I know. Yes, your face is exactly my face when I saw this video. It's the gesture for me. It's the time. It's the research. This bag is absolutely gorgeous. It's adorable. It's because he made it on his own. And if you know anything about
Right.
Hermes, you can't just walk into the store and buy one. Oftentimes, you have to work your way up. They have to offer the bag to you, essentially. You can't just be like, oh, I want to buy a Birkin. They'd be like, no, you can get this scarf, though. You want this blanket? Do
Honey.
you want these earrings? Do you want that? Then you got to go to the pre-owned purses, which can sometimes be more expensive than retail. And you also may not like the size or the color or the type of leather. So good for you, Adrian. You won
That's
Christmas.
better. That's
That's my what's
better.
good this week.
I will tell you, I walked in Hermes and out of Hermes because I was like, what I want, because I had to realize that, like, do I want something in here or do I want to be treated with respect? I want the
Yeah.
respect. I was like, this is not merry and happy. I do not feel merry and happy by this being ignored experience in here. I'm like, okay. So I walked in and then I walked out because I realized that my shopping experience was an experience. It wasn't shopping. And I was like, I want people to be nice to me and sell me things. And I'm like, so
Mm.
I want them to make me want to buy things because they're so nice and friendly and they at least pretend like they think I'm important as a customer. So
Was
yeah, I
it
was like,
giving Pretty Woman when what's her name went into the store and they ignored her and
no,
she
because I
couldn't
didn't
buy
come.
anything? And this,
Well, I still have to return and be like, big mistake, big, huge. But
huge.
I haven't had, yeah, that maybe that moment would be like later in 2026 because like no, they don't care. They don't care. Like they don't care. I was like not going to buy anything of consequence, not even a scarf. Like it was going to be something small, but if anything at all. So they were probably right to ignore me, but I'm just saying, like, I also was right to walk out. It's a win-win.
All right, cool.
It's a win. But yeah,
We'll just leave it at that.
the pretty woman moment has not happened yet, and I doubt if they ever care or will ever care. I
I
mean, maybe
love
they
that
will
movie
care one
so
day, but
much.
by that time, I'm gonna go buy a hand cut leather kit and make it myself.
Girl,
OMG,
this
Adrian.
bag, I'm gonna put it in the show links. This bag is so
I would rather
adorable. It
have that.
looks it looks so good.
Girl,
Looks so good.
I am not the I don't care. I do not care. The bag that I carry right now is a crossbody bag that I bought at Costco in a pack of 2. I love it. It's hands-free. No, I'm about functionality.
Not in a pack of two. What do you mean
It
in a
came in
pack
a
of two?
pack of
Like two
2.
came in.
It
Okay,
2
I need
came in the
this. I need
pack.
to see
There was a
this.
black one and there is a blue one. I carry it all the time. It just because it wraps around my body real cute, real nice. It's adjustable. I can be hands-free.
I need to
That's
see
really what
this
it's
link.
about for me.
I need to see what
No
this crossbody
labels.
looks like. So
No
please,
label. Came with
quick
a pack of
fast.
2. You can get not 1 but 2, and that's what I'm about. Unless somebody that I mean is making it by hand, like that's what I'm talking about. That's the best label there
Right?
is.
So
Listen,
good. So good.
I'm for it. I'm here
Anywho,
for
that's my
it.
what's
I'm here
good.
for it. Well, my what's good was CNBC made it, but then I included it in what I'm on right now. So basically, I've already talked about it. And that's
Oh,
good
look at
for
that.
length. We've already covered what's good.
we
I
reached
was
we
when
reached
I
the final word.
we reached the final word.
We did
I
it,
I
y'all.
told you I'm stealing your final word. Joy is the strategy, sis. Hopefully that's not what yours is, because I'm taking that from this episode.
No, I got another one, but you should definitely
Okay.
take it because I think it should be
Joy is the
repeated
strategy,
often.
sis. It's not the outcome. It's the strategy.
It's a
Girl,
strategy.
that's you
And I will
coined that. That is a quotable. Joy is the strategy, sis. Not the outcome, the strategy.
That was mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did
Yep.
you did your big one. You
I
did your
did that
big
one.
one
I
with
did
that
that one.
girl.
I'll take it.
You
I'll take
did
it. I'll pat
that.
myself on the back because
You
when I was
did
writing that, I was
that.
like, "Ooh, Jayne
You
is rubbing
did
off
that.
on you, Nikki."
Girl, you a
Tell you I'm a writer.
writer. You wrote that. Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, so my final word I will add to the what I coined, what term I just coined. This is courtesy of a woman that I just recently found on Threads because I be staying on Threads. Aya Samadhi B. That is her name. She is a teacher who's all about helping us remember who we are in God. And her work centers on bridging the gap between spirituality and neuroscience. I saw this and I was like, yes, I wish I could like this 50,000 times. Get money, stay pretty, and praise God. Hallelujah. That's it.
Well, enough said. On that note, we'll see
On
you
that
next
note, y'all,
time.
have a great week.
Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.